Des from Aro-Tarot here, and Inktober's over, and I did some pictures, so I figured I'd flip through, and we'll see how I did towards the end, you know? So here we go. So to the left, we have all the prompts. I was working with 2 prompt lists, so that's why there's double as many prompts. And on the right was Sword in the Stone for one of the first day ones, and I did Merlin after placing the Sword in the Stone, since, you know, I did all Merlin themed stuff. And then the other one was Brew, so we have this one, which I drew Gaius. And then for day 2, for one of the prompts, I did Merlin and Arthur with a constellation in the background. So over on the left, we have day 17, which is High Priestess. That other page bled over. So that was a picture of my watercolor. So I printed out a copy so I could keep them all together still, though. And then day 3, we had dinner in tavern. So they're out to eat. To the left, we have 2 prompts, which is watch and routine. So I thought of something really depressing. Merlin's modern routine. And then to the right, yeah, so this is what I came up with for those two for, yeah. Then we have door and home on the left. So I was thinking, you know, like the home is where the heart is kind of thing. So like doorway to the you know, like that kind of thing. So like Arthur's not only coming back to the world, he's coming home. And then for the right, for Climate Flower, I just want to draw Merlin with flowers in his hair. For these ones, I made like a Final Fantasy 14 AU. So we have Arthur and Merlin as Elizin with Kupgera, the Moogle. And then for Snow, we have that on the right. With a little cartoon, little comic thinger. And then I did like a little bonus of Garo that I thought was funny. To the left, I just did this really dramatic, this is my first piece, I did the full background for Night and I. And then we have Mother to the right, so they just got married, so Hynth is hugging her new son, Arthur. I thought that'd be cute. To the left, I've never really done a landscape before, except for like one time we did a desert landscape in school, and that was like a flat, basic desert landscape, very basic, so that was like a first for me. And then here, for Stranger and Tranquil, I was trying to think of what to do, and all I could think of was maybe like in the forest, maybe Druid Merlin kind of thing, and then it hit me, Tarzan. So like, this was inspired by, Tarzan and Jane during the bird bit and Stranger Like Me for that song. I like how this one came out. For Pendragon, I decided to draw Arthur as a dragon who likes pens. Yeah, so will you give Arthur a pen? Yes or no? And then to the right, we have, what was it? I think it was Cliff. Or steep, that's what it was. So when I think of steep, I think of cliffs. When I think of cliffs, I think of falling. When I thought of falling, I thought of falling in love. So it's as they fell down into love to the point that they got married kind of thing. This one was moonless and ancient. So I kind of did like Merlin as an ancient moon deity. And then the moon could not shine for he had lost his other half, the sun. That's not depressing. And then over here it was fiction and kiss. So I've only drawn people kissing one time before in high school, so I'm not used to that. And then for fiction, I have it like a book, so it's a love that will never fade through the ages kind of thing. So over here, it was Hold and Horse, and I didn't do a horse, I did a unicorn, because I thought that was cooler. And, you know, more show-wise, so with Merlin with the unicorn. And then this is like my favorite one that I did this month for Future and Fire. So this is after Arthur comes back. And they're out camping under the stars. I thought that'd be cute for the fire and stuff. But I really like how Merlin specifically came out. Like the hands, love it. Gotta put those things back. I was using Uniball, and Uniball like smears. It like never dries. So I'm stuck doing that because it smears against paper for some reason. I don't know why. Apparently it hates me. So I'm not using them anymore. This was like, kind of goes along with that one that I was inspired by Tarzan for. So Arthur's hidden and he's injured. And then he sees the butterfly, which leads him. You see the next part later. And then for Linger and Parapet, I didn't really like how this one came out. Except for the texturing in the background. But a bunch of Sakura Gel Pen there. But yeah, that one's I think that was my worst one maybe. And then here I just wanted to do Merlin all pretty in a crown. And then for room, I was thinking more so if like there's not enough room or there's too much room. So I went with too much room so the crown's too big for Merlin. So that's why it's falling down. And then this is after Arthur's injured in that other picture. He follows the butterfly and this is what he sees. I wrote like a whole like 2-3 paragraphs on like Tumblr about like the scene. It's like, wow, I didn't think drawing was going to make me want to write a fan fiction or something, you know. To the left we have Pierce and Gold. So I wanted definitely to have like injuries. Originally I was going to do both injuries for both of them, the admin ones they had in the show, and then I was just thinking maybe Arthur, and then I ended up kind of taking that to Arthur's death scene and I made the blood gold because it looked cool. And then, of course, there's black because he's dead. There's nothing there. It's all gone. For here, that's a Snow Cloak, the dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. So it's back to the Final Fantasy XIV AU. Because they were snow and glisten. And when I think of glistening, I immediately think of that dungeon. And the dungeon is literally called Snow Cloak because there's like snow and ice everywhere. So that's them at the final boss. For noise, I immediately thought of Gwaine. During the first episode of season 4, and like when he crunches on that apple, so that's what I drew here, and then I made the background red, like the apple. And then over here, I was kind of experimenting with my Tombow brush pens to try to actually shade a full picture with the brush pens and not do hatching, so that's what I did here with Arthur in a cloak, because that was the keyword, and I just really like his sneaking out cloak. I like the hood on it, so that's what I did there. And then this was the last one that I did. It took me so long, including breaks, because I don't know how long my breaks took, maybe 2 hours. So I guess in total probably took me like 10 hours to do this picture. But yeah, I did 3 here because I did 2 pages, so I included one. So we had like, what was it? I can't even remember them all. Trickle was one of them. Yeah, and then Candlelit and Deliver. So that's what those were. So, yeah, those were all the pictures that I did for Inktober. My whole goal was actually just to draw every day, and I did draw every day. I didn't always finish a picture every day, but I did draw every day. And I did actually fill up 31 pages of my sketchbook, so I'm going to say that's a job well done. But I do actually want to do the other prompts. So through November, I'll, like, go back, and when I want to draw, I'll do the rest of the prompts that I didn't get to yet, since last one I did was day 26, so. And then right here, I just thought it'd be cool to kind of, like, look at more close-ups of the pictures that I thought were my favorites. So these were the ones that I actually really liked how they came out, so I'm just gonna kind of let these go ahead and play. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was kind of fast because I decided to do a voiceover for better audio, and I did not give myself enough time. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm Des from Aro-Tarot, and I'm going to go ahead and log off and let the rest of these play.